welcome to the latest of our Cappuccino communication videos for leaders in the local church. Although these originally were designed for individuals, we're discovering that they're now being more widely used as the basis of discussion in leadership meetings, and that's absolutely great as far as we're concerned. Now, if I were to ask you who these men are, I wonder if you'd have any idea at all. Clearly they're not household names in the Bible, are they? What do you think? Well, a clue might be that there are 10 of them, and I think most of you will have got it by now. You know, there were 12 spies that went to spy in Canaan, and these are the ones who brought back a negative report. Though we read in Numbers 13 that they were leaders in Israel, if they're known at all, they're remembered for their lack of faith, while Joshua and Caleb are known for their lion-like courage. Unfortunately, however, because democracy prevailed, the result was that 2 million people wandered around an arid wilderness for 40 long years. We're going to look at the motivation behind both groups and see the lessons that we can learn. So let's start with the genetics of failure and then go on to the DNA of the lion. Okay, the genetics of failure. It boiled down to 3 things really. The people are too powerful, the barriers are too large, and we're too small. In fact, it just boiled down to one thing really, fear. And the root of their fear has not changed in over 3 millennia. People, problems, and self-image. Notice the 10 did not just say, we were like grasshoppers in comparison with their soldiers, but we were like grasshoppers in our own eyes. Now let's look at the DNA of the spirit of a lion. In Numbers 14:24, we get a look into Caleb's heart when God says, my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly. I will bring him into the land he went to and he will inherit it. We need to notice that Caleb and Joshua did not just talk a good game or make a positive confession. They acknowledged that there were problems, and in fairness to the 10, they also acknowledged the good things that there were in the land. It was not that each side saw different things. The issue was that one group saw themselves as grasshoppers and the others as lions. Listen to what Caleb and Joshua say in Numbers 14 verse 9. Do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will swallow them up. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. The Message paraphrase says, we will have them for lunch. Of course, the second statement reveals the real source of power. The Lord is with us. It was not really their view of themselves that changed the situation, it was their concept of God. In Numbers 13:32, the grasshoppers said that the problem would devour them, and here the lions say that with God on our side, we will devour the problem. The Bible speaks about praise and worship as magnifying the Lord. Now think about that for a moment. If you put a magnifying glass in front of this screen that you're looking at just now, does it really get any bigger? Well, the answer, of course, is no. And it's the same if you're viewing on an iPhone or an iPad or a laptop. What does happen is that the magnification makes our perspective of what we're watching bigger. And it's the same with God. We can't make God any bigger because he's already God. But magnifying him makes our view of him change. That's what praise accomplishes. It does not make God bigger, but it makes God bigger to us. In Elim, we focus on building bigger people before we consider building bigger churches. If we do the first, the latter will occur by default. The DNA for successful lion-like leadership is about dedication, neutralizing intimidation, and attitude. But before we leave the lion, one more thing, well, 3 in fact. The lion's roar, if people just stop at declaration, we offer no more than hot air. We just all talk. And that has to be followed by the lion's paw, action, and the lion's heart, a spirit of tenacity that refuses to give up. In the year 2000, at the conference when I was first elected as General Superintendent, my close friend Michael Natumi, who at the time was the head of the 2 million strong Church of Pentecost in Ghana, gave a powerful prophecy. And in it he said that my term of office would be characterised by many opportunities, but also by many challenges. But through those challenges, God would give me the heart of a lion. Well, whether I've shown that or not is for others to judge, but I took the prophecy very seriously. If you visit my office, you'll see symbols of the lion everywhere. If you came to our garden, you see symbols of the lion. So my advice to you today is to not let anything rob you of your role. Work with the lion's paw and be continually tenacious. Hold on to your vision with tenacity. Refuse to let anyone rob you of the promise that God has given you, your family or your church. Well, great to be with you. Next time we're going to look at 4 powerful leadership modes. I'll explain what that means next time. So see you then, and keep the caffeine flowing.